Jurgen ploughs his own furrow very much, keeps his cards absolutely close to his chest, only shares his ideas right at the final moment.
Ultimately, he is the man to make the decision. Certainly, you know, he's forgotten more about rowing probably than I'll ever know.
His athletes will absolutely trust him to the letter, follow him, do exactly what he says, because we're all here to get Olympic gold medals, and doing what he says is the best chance of getting one.
They have to look after themselves because if it comes to selection, yeah, there's only 4 seats or 8 seats or 2 seats in a boat. You make decision, and that's always the hardest bit, especially now in that period of time when you do selection. You're working with successful athletes. They put everything behind them and really focus on their sport to do well, and then there's only for eight people you can select. And you might have 10, and then you have to make a decision. I want to demonstrate as well, I do really my best, and selection and working with human is a hard thing.
It boils down to the fact that he has to go better than what he's done before in Olympic terms, and what we've done before from Beijing is a gold and a silver, and he wants to go better than the World Championships that he had last year, where he had a gold in the 4, a silver in the 8 and a silver in the pair. So the only way of getting better than those two is to get 2 gold medals out of those 3 events, which very seldom happens in international rowing. We've only managed, I think, once before in living memory, and he's got to try and do it.
On the 4th of April, we're going to announce our team for the first World Cup regatta, which is at the very beginning of May. That's the first big test of how we've done this winter versus the opposition, and whether we've got these choices and flexibility, whether we've got it right. It still gives us time to make some changes if we want to, but ideally that will have the look of the Olympic team. Our squad is fantastic. You only have to walk into their training sessions to see the attitude, the discipline and everything else. It's very, very tough, our sport. We're trying to fit people at the end of the day into the right boat class for them. It's a little bit different between a 4 and a pair or a 4 and an 8. So what we're trying to do is get them actually to be able to row in each boat, and that way we find out a bit more about what they're best suited to. But also it gives us the flexibility to choose in the end where we put our best people, whether there are some boats where you have what you might call horses for courses. Some people might be better suited to the 8, whether it's the top boat or not the top boat. And it just means that by running a squad, and rowing is a little unusual as a sport in that there are 3 sweep events for men. It means that we have a choice at the end of the day, providing we qualify all 3, which we have.
The logic would suggest that it would be a 4 first, but that's still a leap of logic. You know, that might be a tough call for him to say, right, we're going to do a 4 first. If he does a 4 first, I think the logic would then steer him towards an 8 next. And if he's trying to get 2 golds, there is no room for error in those 2 events. And that is, you know, a brutal standard to be judged by.
I think there's something quite good about keeping other people guessing a bit and showing your colours when you need to. We take a 4-year approach, that's an Olympiad, and therefore we always know where we'd like to be by this stage of the Olympiad. And decisions have yet to be made about what those priorities are going to be. But we can assess a little bit the intelligence from other nations as to where they might put their people. I think that gives us an advantage. Others might see it a different way, but I think that's a plus because we've then got the choice.
I think Jurgen's strategy actually over the last 3 years has been really brilliant with this. He's really sort of like focused on a really strong team ethos, and so that people aren't already placed in certain pegs and you're the fours group, you're the pairs group, you're the eights group. It's always been about being one team and anyone being able to sort of like mix in. And so then what we've got is like this central ethos that we all sort of like fundamentally row with each other all the time. We could be rowing with anyone, and we always go and stay flexible with that. What as well that we've got in the belief is the fact that while we have that degree of flexibility, the fact that anyone can row with anyone, it's not just that, it's the fact that anyone can row with anyone and we can still win, and we do win, and we've proved that time and time again.
I put myself in a strong contention for as much of a shot as the four as anybody, and the eight. But my way of looking at it and what I've tried to change in my thinking in the last 4 years, particularly in the last 18 months, is like you could be in any boat, and it doesn't mean I'm not going to still want to win a gold medal as much as I would in an 8 or a 4 or a pair. So whatever boat I'm going to be in, I'm going to try and win, and the only way I can do that is to be the best I can be in any situation I'm put in.
You put your talent where you think you're going to win the medals. People don't come up to me and say in the street, oh, you know, you won 2 gold medals in the pair and 2 gold medals in the 4. They just know you won medals. I mean, if I'm lucky, you won gold medals at the Olympics. You know, it is that simple. It's that, that's what everyone is here to do. All that matters for Jurgen and this group is that Britain wins gold medals. Plural. It has to be plural.